People of Reddit, are you aware of the YouTube channels who take screenshots of popular Reddit posts, put a text-to-speech voiceover on them and get millions of views? If so, what are your opinions on them? Feel like they are dying off anyway. Channels with real narrators are a thing now and they are doing a pretty good job imo. Interesting people. All of them. It's like watching reaction videos. But honestly more fun because you get interesting posts and reactions. So yeah. I actually watch the ones with narrators and YouTube recommends me the ones with the text to speech and it just feels so much lower quality content than the narrators. Plus I hate the text to speech they use. Why can't they use one of the good ones? I don't like the text to speech ones. They feel cheap. However, if it's a real person reacting and talking about what they see, I'm fine with that. Because those can be actually entertaining. Reminds me of that old dramatic reading of a real breakup letter video. Good times. Those channels are actually one of the reasons I got into Reddit in the first place. Yo, I've never even knew about Reddit before those videos, on par with watching reviews of YouTube specific subreddits. It doesn't matter what I think. They get millions of views. But they are just another indication that credit rarely goes to where it is due. And low effort middlemen tend to be more successful than people who believe in honest effort. It just sort of reminds me of the number of BuzzFeed posts that are all reposts from Reddit. Like seriously people. Do your jobs. But you're also spot on. They're all doing it as a quick content farm from here. I won't watch the YouTube vids usually or read the BuzzFeed posts. If they're making money off of such low effort, good for them. Yeah. The YouTubers could at least narrate themselves instead of a robotic voice. No. Could help people with bad eyesight or who are blind. Personally I don't care. My boyfriend has hella ADHD and needs constant background noise to get things done efficiently. And for whatever reason just mindless TTS sounding talk that's not interesting enough to actually captivate his attention is what works best. So he listens to these things a ton while doing the dishes or whatever. Podcasts, shows, movies, videos that are actually narrating a cohesive story, documentaries, and books on tape are usually too interesting and he gets distracted by them. I'm sure there are other channels or genres that would fill this need too, but these ones are a dime a dozen and constantly coming out with more. I won't listen to them. I want to hear somebody with a nice speaking voice and who asks for permission before using someone's story. Just out of courtesy. I don't want to feel like a chump giving views to someone who doesn't care about their audience enough to put in some effort. However, if they can make a buck doing something lame, I guess they're smarter than me. Yeah, there's a horror channel and the guy actually narrates himself. He asked me permission to use a story I posted once. I liked that. He even let me know when the video was up so I could go watch it. Some of them actually comb through stories and find good ones, so I do kinda like them. Do you have an example? Don't really understand how that would be entertaining. Never mind. Quick search. I am in at least one so far. Da fuck. Sometimes I just can't find good posts. They have good and interesting posts I sometimes like to watch. It's like instead of going into the fields and picking out fresh apples, you just go to the store and buy the apples. I have had 6 of my comments used in YouTube videos. All were well put together and done well. Each YouTube's asked for my permission. I'm fine with it. You got asked permission? I just found mine in a video. And OFC they take the one where I talk about my FK'd up childhood. I guess it earns them clicks. Still, I know internet is not private so I live with it. I listened to those videos when I was between podcasts to do chores anyway. So can't really complain. I actually enjoy them. When I'm busy cleaning or cooking I like to listen and get different perspectives on things. It's one of the reasons I actually created my Reddit account and check it so frequently. Just having it on in the background while you're doing something is pretty nice. So I can catch up on some threads and I'm not fully tied up scrolling through all the comments. Probably pretty convenient for blind people. You ever consider why someone might go to the trouble of doing that very specifically beneficial act for the visually impaired? Or rather, why they still get a lot of views even though the video seems useless to you? Blind people generally have TTS programs that are better than those robot voices. And they also crank the speed up on their TTS software to be as fast as it can while still understanding it. Someone uploaded a recording of his TTS on a Reddit thread and I couldn't understand it. It was going so fast. I don't mind them. I think the use of the automated voice is quite funny at times, and it's actually what made me get an actual Reddit account. Not because I wanted to appear in those videos, but because it seemed like I was missing out on some good and interesting discussion material. I would also listen to them when doing other things like washing my face or doing dishes if I wasn't in the mood to listen to music or podcasts. But besides that, I would imagine it's good for those who are visually impaired or have dyslexia. As someone who takes pride in creating things, it disgusts me that people will reap all the eyeball attention of someone else's content and have the gall to claim ad revenue and make money off someone else's creation. Just like all those stupid reaction channels, let's get some dude to manufacture over-the-top reactions, most of the time, to someone else's work, and claim ad revenue from a moron who just pointed a camera at himself and pressed record. He didn't create the work he reacted to, yet he's monetizing his reaction to it. It's depressing. On one hand, it's genius from a business perspective. On the other hand, as a creative person, it's utterly despicable. It doesn't bother me as bad as the mods who delete a post and then repost the content under one of their accounts. Realistically though, the concept of IP on the internet is pretty loose. People steal photos, jokes, and memes all the time. The content ends up all over the place. If something is good, the content goes viral and the creator is forgotten. I used to work for a company that was going out of business. I had an idea for a product that I could prototype in about a month. It was a revolutionary idea, and everyone thought I couldn't pull it off. But they were going under anyway. So, he gave me a month. It worked. It not only worked, they made about $1 million in sales over the next 6 months on it. And a big company bought us for $25 million. My stock options were so overvalued that I got nothing of that sale. And they laid everyone off, including me, for being such a huge success. I got laid off with 2 weeks severance and no credit. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it happens at all levels. I found out about them recently and I personally think it's a good thing. Just listening to someone telling me stories while I do the dishes or something is relaxing, and because of them there is almost endless content. Real narrators don't have enough time to make enough content, so I personally like it. Even though it's weird when someone puts your story in a video. I've watched those channels since I was 11 or 12 and I'm 17 now. I got Reddit when I was 15 because my new friend told me to make an account. I listen to them after long days of studying because I'm tired from reading so much. I enjoy them. The reason is I don't have to go searching for good posts and comments. Let's be serious, most of the replies and posts on this website are absolutely effing atrocious. This makes it so I don't waste time trying to find one good comment and can just sit there and listen and laugh to a bunch of good comments. I enjoy both Reddit posts and YouTube vids of Reddit. The YouTubers filter out the chaff from the grain, so it's often concentrated interesting. But then Reddit has the full spectrum and many more subreddit subjects to choose from. They are really different animals and both have value, or sometimes not. Then if someone makes $1 more power to them. To be honest, I like them. Sometimes I just want to sit down and watch something or listen to something in the car rather than scrolling and reading. I have nothing against it. In fact, it can be fun. Sometimes they're good highlights you can listen to while you do other stuff. And you don't have time to scroll down hundreds of pointless comments. It must take effort to select, compile, proofread and record those videos. I consider them a different thing altogether. I'll be honest, I am guilty of watching these. I find them really useful as a podcast style of a Reddit thread. Especially when I can leave my phone on my pillow when I can't sleep, then zone out whilst listening. Nothing with too much story time. Usually the typical Ask Reddit of interesting snappy facts. Silly stories or corporate things everyone should know. But doesn't. Great for giving your eyes a bit of a break. Don't have to watch the video. And just zone it or out to sleep. Agree, if voices were more natural it would be better. It is also very amusing when the speech reads internet slang. Or $500,000. I'm okay with it. Yeah. It seems low effort. But it's actually kinda not. Those YouTubers need to read through the threads and pick out which comments to use. That takes a good amount of time and makes those videos a best of sort of thing. They also sometimes find posts I missed even when I'm subscribed to that sub. I actually love them. They often make it on posts that are a few years old, so I wouldn't find them anyways. Plus they are super convenient to listen to like a podcast when I'm doing SMTH that requires my hands and half my attention. Also, it's not really hard to find those posts comments when I want to save them or something. I personally don't see a problem with them. I'm aware of them. Who cares? If they're making money off of it, that means someone is watching and enjoying it. Which is fine. It's not like I was getting paid to shitpost and they're stealing the money from me. Honestly, it sounds like a win-win. I don't see anyone getting a particularly bad outcome here. My answer to the first question is yes. In fact, I tend to watch them with alarming regularity. As for my opinions on them, honestly, Reddit is such a beast that I alone could never hope to keep up with all the posts that I would find interesting. So having an army of channels that together does a much better job of that is nice. Also, after I spend a lot of time reading, my head begins to hurt. So listening to what is essentially an audiobook of Reddit is beneficial for me too, as I don't get a headache that way. Another good thing is that I can get mildly amused by the TTS voice bugging out. I like them sometimes. I hate the ones with the like and zero. 63,949,384 seconds, or I'll swallow your dog whole at the end, or the subscribe and stuff in the middle one. They did that on a suicide video and at least 100 people unsubbed or claimed they would. They're easy to flow asleep to. Which is why I listen to the smaller robot channels just to fall asleep to. Since they usually don't have nearly as much self-pronk. They serve as something I call background video. Much like a podcast. They only serve as something you put in the background while you play or do chores. However, unlike a podcast, they're incredibly short. The average length for a podcast I listen to is around 1-2 hours. These videos are around 10-30 minutes and don't have much personality to them. Imo. They're low-hanging fruit. An easy cash grab, as I've been hearing others say both viral and here on this thread. I personally don't care. Background music is background music. As long as it's there, I'll do well in my games. I don't mind them. It's great to get the content I like from Reddit while multitasking. Instead of needing to be reading the posts, I can draw and still get my Reddit fix. It's a bit of a cheap tactic for views, but hey, I mean, if it works, it works. Don't hate the players, hate the game, so on, etc. On one side, it is cheap to essentially take content from other people. But on the other side, it's like an audiobook version of Reddit. I get to listen to Reddit posts with specific themes and go about my day instead of sitting on my phone reading. Good on them for finding a way to make easy money. I've listened to a lot of them at work. While they feel cheap and the constant use of half-nude anime girls in the thumbnails are cringy, I get a significant amount of entertainment from hearing Ask Reddit stories in my headphones while doing physical things at work. They at least aren't trying to be some awful cult of personality with nonsense filler I didn't ask for like the majority of content in YouTube. They've repackaged something I like and made money off of it from advertising I'll never intentionally click. Good for them. I actually listen to them all the time. They're not good or creative or whatever, but my ADHD ass likes to have something playing in the background while I do other things. And readings of Reddit posts are kind of perfect for that. I guess I use the videos the way some people use audiobooks. I'm glad they're there. It's one of the forms of entertainment my brother enjoys ever since he lost his sight. Sure, his phone can read text out loud to him, but to randomly browse around Reddit to try and find the entertaining bits to listen to them sounds annoying. But with videos, they're compiled into bite-sized fun moments. I don't mind it, and I have listened to them before, and I always kinda hoped my post gets highlighted there, but I haven't encountered it yet. Open bracket. I actually watch a lot of them. They're fun. Especially one topic at a time. Wholesome LGBTQ+ ally who's also just a cool dude. The click. Topics curse but also a lie friend who flirts with topic a lot. Oz Media. Another friend of click and topic. A mix of cursed and wholesome with a text-to-speech voiced companion named Mini Oz who likes to go on conspiracy rants. And Tululai, I think that's how it's spelled. He's a mix of cursed and wholesome as well. Oh. And Blair. Aka Illuminati. She's P fun too.